So, the Salt Lake City East Mission, I served in 5 different areas, and I had 10 companions. And I loved each and every one of them. And all my areas and all my companions were all very different. Something that's really cool about the Salt Lake City East Mission is where everyone from Utah area, they go everywhere else, and everywhere else comes to Utah for their missions. And so a lot of my the culture I experienced on my mission was from my very own companions, and so I thought that was pretty cool. So we had lots of church units, basically. Some sisters that I knew of, and then other, later, they were over 24 wards or something like that. Sometimes you're over multiple stakes. I was never one of those missionaries, but that's also a big possibility in the Salt Lake City East Mission. Cool thing about temple attendance, though, you get to attend the temple 4 times a year, which is really good. It might even be more often now. I think President Hillier was changing that, but I don't know. While I was there, it was mostly 4 times a year, and then if you or your companion is going home, then you get to go to the temple again. And that was really awesome. I remember I had a companion who was going home one transfer, and I prayed for her, because I was like, I want to go to the temple. And I got transferred away from my one companion who was going home that transfer as well. And then I was given another companion who's going home, and so I got to go to the temple. That's something that was really exciting. We're very close to Temple Square, but there's actually no temples within the mission boundaries, so we'd always have to leave mission boundaries to get to a temple, which is kind of funny, because you think about how many temples are in Salt Lake, or not Salt Lake, but just Utah in general. And so that's interesting. But I also remember I had a companion, I was in the YSA wards, and we loved going to Temple Square for P-Day. We were able to park our mission car and stuff at the station, and we'd have to get permission for this, of course. Every time we would get permission from our leaders, and we were able to take the front runner and go visit Temple Square, which is really great. You also have the wonderful opportunity to take investigators to Temple Square, and you get to be able to work with the sisters there. That helped a lot when I was in the Chinese area, because a lot of the sisters, they've got language skills, and they were able to help us out a lot with some of our investigators. It's also just a wonderful place to feel the spirit, to work with the sisters there, and they were able to help us use different parts of Temple Square for lessons. And that was pretty great. Just wonderful opportunities. And sometimes we like to go on P-Days, though, because then we didn't have to, we were able to just run around and see the things that we wanted to see. The Church History Museum is wonderful. They have a great, currently, maybe not always, but they currently have a wonderful video of Joseph Smith's first vision. It's great for lessons about the restoration, so that's cool. And the sisters there are wonderful to work with when you go for lessons. Things Salt Lake City East Mission is known for, like I said, really high baptizing. While I was there, our last goal for the year, because the mission president sets goals, was 800. And I've talked to the mission president recently, and we had a reunion, and he said that the missionaries in the mission right now, their current goal is 870 a year, which in comparison to a lot of other missions, that's very high. And so they do their best to reach it. I don't know if they reached it last year, but I do know that within a month, recently, they had 70 baptisms within the mission, which was really cool. And like I said, it depends on the area and where you are and timing, but chances are you'll probably have at least 1 baptism on your mission, which is great, because just the Spirit is so strong, and just kind of a wonderful experience and being a part of that and to helping someone to find happiness in the gospel, like, best feeling ever. Kind of miss it, but so good. A difficult part about the Salt Lake City East mission is a lot of people already have preconceived ideas or notions about the church. A lot of people feel like they know what we're about. They're like, you have nothing else you can teach me. Like, I know you Mormons, like, you know things. Like, I know the things that you know, and they don't want to learn. They don't want to be taught. There are always those who aren't ready. That's a thing. You'll run into them. And there are also those who strongly believe against the church. They voice it. And I'm sure you'll find that in any mission, really. But I had some of those times where it just kind of shocked me a little bit. There's this one lady, we knocked on her door, and she was very passionate. People are very passionate about their no soliciting signs. And in my head, or we even looked up the term for soliciting. It means you shouldn't sell things, like going door to door, selling something. And what we do, we're proselyting. So that's something that I was like, shouldn't we, like, people say no soliciting, shouldn't we, like, knock on their door? And we ignored those all the time. Like, totally fine. You're not selling something. But we are sharing something of great importance. If the signs do say no proselyting, that's what we're doing. Like, you can respect those. That's important, to respect people and their property and stuff. But I remember this one lady, she had this no soliciting sign. We knocked on her door because that's what we do, and we do that. And she was so angry. She yelled at us. And that was the first time I was yelled at. And I was so kind of shocked a little bit. My companion had been, it was just my second companion, so she was my second trainer. She was my follow-up trainer, so she knew things. And she just kind of calmly, like, talked with the lady, and afterwards she kind of gave me advice about, like, you know, people are angry. You don't try to fight with them. It drives away the Spirit. Do your best to be calm and understanding. Share what you can of your message. But, like, some people just, they don't want to have it. She was very passionate about her no soliciting sign. We tried to explain, like, we're proselyting. It's not soliciting. We're not selling anything. She was very, very sure that we were selling something because she was, like, talking about or tithing or something. Or I'm like, you know, it is optional to pay tithing. I mean, you don't, like, we're not forcing anybody to buying or paying anything. So that was a thing. Then she threatened to call the cops on us, then we left. So we didn't actually tell her that. We were just kind of very accepting of what she said. And it's important to respect people and their thoughts and decisions and stuff. So yeah. Places to see. Really cool places in the mission. Like, I've already talked about Temple Square. Temple Square, great. Go there. Please do. Like, of course, get permission. That's always important, but great place. In my last area on my mission, our area, like, encompassed the Hogle Zoo. That was awesome. We went there for a P-Day one time. That was pretty great. So that is allowed if you get permission, of course. But I mean, it was in our area, so, like, you can go do activities within your area, and you don't have to get permission necessarily. So if you go out of your area, then you have to get permission. So that was really cool. We got to go to the zoo, and across from the Hogle Zoo This is the Place. We had wonderful senior missionaries there in that area, and our sister senior missionary, she took us there, and that was really amazing. So if you have the opportunity and chance, and a missionary or a senior missionary or just a member offers to take you, take that chance. It's a great experience to go. She spoiled us so much, and so those are some really great places. Also, you might have the opportunity to do some hikes. It really just depends on the mission president's stance on it. My first mission president would take us out on hikes every once in a while, and as like districts or zones, or you have like a zone or district activity where your leaders will get permission, and then you'd be able to maybe go on some hikes. It just kind of depends on how close the hike is to your area. You're not allowed to go like crazy far out of your area to do anything really, unless you have like a reason. But if it's in your area or it's close to your area, like you could probably get permission if it's like an activity for P-Day or something, and it's like short enough that you could go. In a fun thing we like to do in the holiday area is they have fat cats. Missionaries can get a game for free there, which that's kind of cool. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but we did that a couple of times. It was kind of weird though, because you're like, I'm a missionary, and I didn't really like it very much. I don't like bowling that much, so it just kind of depends on you. So that was like a cool thing that we were allowed to do. I don't know if they're still allowed to do that, but while I was there, that was a thing. I can't think of any other cool places. It's pretty much you'll be able to just kind of experience the cool places in the mission, just kind of while you're there. Green River. Part of that area, Little America. Like, best ice cream cones. Cheap. Like, what is it? 50 cents? 50 cents ice cream cones? Soft serve. Like, we ate lots of ice cream cones there. So, if you get a chance to serve there, great place to stop. And then you have members that are there as well. So, you might get to teach an investigator in Little America if you serve there. For lifestyle of living, for living in the Salt Lake City East Mission, I like to say that we're pretty spoiled. We are given about like $100, maybe $20 a month to spend on groceries and stuff. A number that might change. I don't know. That's how it was when I was there. And transportation, cars. I drove a lot of cars on the mission. There was only that first one area where I was walking and biking. It just kind of depends on the areas that you're put in. Certain areas are bigger, and it's just kind of simply a must where you need to be able to drive a car. Then there's others that are smaller where biking and walking are needed or required. Or there just might be the fact that there's not a lot of cars to go around. There's a fluxation. The amount of missionaries changes often. And so it just kind of depends, really. But drove cars a lot. You learn a lot about car problems. You have those. Housing was always pretty nice. That's kind of a perk, you know. We always had a bed, always had warm showers, usually, depending, but usually very good places to live and pretty nice. Sometimes they switch out the housing and stuff, and you go into a housing or like an apartment or something after elders. less nice, you clean those up very well, spend a good day cleaning, and then it's okay. You're doing fine. But goodness, if you're an elder, please, and you're being transferred out of your, please clean. So many brown toilets. Oh gosh. But yeah, living in a clean environment really it's good. It helps you feel the spirit, and it's less gross. So that's a thing. And let's see. Shopping, usually Walmart. Like P-Day, you go shopping at Walmart. Walmart is where you get your food and really whatever else you need to live. Mission president may decide to change those rules, but I was under the impression our rules were you go to Walmart for P-Day, for shopping and stuff. If you wanted to go shopping anywhere else, like if you just needed, they have clothes at Walmart. Like they have pretty much everything or anything. But sometimes sisters like to go shopping. You were not allowed at strip malls or kind of any of the outlets or malls of any kind. But if there's like a standalone store, there's one I'm trying to think of the sisters like to go to, but you'd have to get permission to be able to go to that store first, and then you'd go in, get the thing that you wanted. You can't like really stick around and browse. Like that's not a thing that happens. You get the thing that you are needing, you check out, and then you leave. You try to spend as least amount of time there as possible. Walmart is a little more lenient. Like people expect missionaries to be there. Kind of fun sometimes because you go and you know a lot of other missionaries are gonna be there because we're all kind of serving on top of each other, and so you'll see other missionaries and stuff. The only time I didn't shop at Walmart was when I lived in Green River because it's so far away from everything. We'd have to drive to Rock Springs to go to Walmart, which we did sometimes depending on what we needed. But there's also a Smith's there, a little bit more expensive, but gets the job done. It was okay because like there wasn't a Walmart in Green River, so it just kind of depends on your area as well. But usually Walmart. Didn't mean to make this like a Walmart commercial, but that's where we went on the mission.